Very good morning, cadets. Hope you are all doing well. We have completed the syllabus of Democratic Politics Part 2, and we have completed the chapters Federalism, Power Sharing, Political Parties, Outcomes of Democracy, Gender, Caste and Religion. All the chapters, they are considered for the board examination. 4 chapters are considered for board examination. We have completed the entire syllabus of Democratic Politics Part 2 for class 10th. Let us move to the next part of textbook, that is History. India and Contemporary World 2. In the history textbook, we are going to study about the India and Contemporary World Part 2. The India and Contemporary World Part 2, we are going to study about the events and process. In that, the rise of nationalism in Europe, the nationalist movement in Indochina, nationalism in India, making of global world, age of industrialization. So CBSE has reduced certain percentage of syllabus. As a result, we are supposed to study only 3 chapters in history. Anyhow, the rise of nationalism in Europe is a compulsory chapter, so we have to study the chapter. When we speak about Europe, we studied in last year in the class 9th about the nationalism in Europe. The French Revolution is considered as benchmark or a beginning of all other revolutions in the European continent. Let us begin the topic or the chapter. The famous painting of Frédéric Soreille. Closely observe this painting. This painting belongs to Frédéric Soreille in the year 1848. A French artist prepared a series of 4 paints visualizing his dream of a world map, democratic and social republic. So what is the theme, what is the name of this paint? That is worldwide democratic and social republic. Please make a note of all, even the minute points, because MCQ questions or 1 mark questions are generally asked in this only. What is the name of the painting of Frédéric Soreille? So what is the name of the painting? The name of the painting is Dream of Worldwide Democratic and Social Republic. The Pact Between Nations, prepared by Frédéric Soreille. Now very important, try to understand what is the painting is all about. Painting is about democratic social republic. Means this is the visualization of democratic world. In the sense, you can see here is a Statue of Liberty, and a large number of people in a long march, the procession, they are moving towards what? Towards the Statue of Liberty. Please listen. So they are all moving towards the Statue of Liberty. You can see the flags. Okay. Today it's very common that each and every country got their own individual flag. But those days, the individual flag, the concept of national anthem, concept of citizenship was not there. So naturally, when concept of flag, nationalism, citizenship was not there, because they were all ruled by the kings or the monarchs. Okay. So when they were ruled by the monarchs, definitely the many small empires were under the huge empire. As a result, there were no individual flags or the culture. Now this long process march, what is this long process march? This is symbolic representation that every country in Europe, I repeat, every country in Europe want to reach to which place? The place of Statue of Liberty. Means every country they are dreaming of liberty. From whom? You see here, this is nothing but the remainings of monarchy. Means the kingship. They destroyed the kingship. They destroyed the monarchy. After destroying kingship or destroying monarchy, then only they can reach to liberty. So once they destroyed the kingship or monarchy, then only they can establish what government? That is democratic form of government. So those days, of course, is a Christian world. The European countries, Christian world. So for each and everything, there is a need to have a sanctity or sanction from the divine world. So you can see here the angels. Okay, this is the angels. Okay, you can see the holy cross of Christians. So fraternity, the holy of cross of Christians, divine angels of Christianity, everyone is blessing. So what does it mean? That means the idea of destroying monarchy and declaring democratic ideas is even blessed or supported by the divine Christianity. That is the idea of democratic republic of Frederick Sorayu. So the question may be asked, describe about the pact between the nation prepared by Frederick Sorayu. So you have to explain that. The nation flags, the individual moving towards the Statue of Liberty. So in 1848, Frederick Sorayu, a French artist, prepared a series of 4 paintings visualizing his dream of world made up of democratic and social republic, as he called them. So what was the world at that time? What at that time? The world or the countries were ruled by monarchy. Of course, there was no concept called nation. There were no concept. For example, in India, before British arrived in India, it was considered as Marathas, Mughals, Sikhs, Jats, Rajputs, Wadars of Mysore, Hoysalas. So there was no concept called country called India, because it was each and every individual state or individual province were divided, and they themselves declared as an independent nation. So the same condition was there in European world also. So Frederick, a French artist, he dreamt of what? Dreamt of social republic and a democratic country. People marched against absolutist institutions. Absolutist means nothing but kingship, or those who rule by dictating the terms, or dictatorship. Sorayu utopian vision. The people of the world are grouped as distinct nation, their flags and national costume leading to the procession. The way past the Statue of Liberty are the United States and Switzerland. Now why it is called utopian vision? What do you mean by utopia? Utopia means a dream which cannot be achieved. That is called utopian idea. So those days, the Frederick Sorayu's painting was described as utopian idea. It is very, very difficult or impossible rather to achieve a dream of defeating the kings and declaring democracy. So it was a utopian idea for those days, but today it's a reality. So countries were divided into various small provinces, which were the small kingdom in those days. German people were people of Austria, kingdom of 2 Sicilies, Lombardy, England, Poland, Ireland, Hungary, Russia. So people were divided across the world, across the various states. So when people are divided across the races or across the empire, the nationalists emerged as a force which brought a sweeping change, was the emergence of nation states. Now you see, the people belongs to kingdom of 2 Sicilies. Kingdom of 2 Sicilies, definitely they are the part of Italy. The part of people of Italy, they may not be happy that they were forced to speak German, because they always felt that we belongs to a separate culture or a language. So they always felt that we need to unite our country, and we do need to declare Italian language as our major language. Now Poland, the country of Poland was under the control of, at that time, it was predominantly or continuously under the control of two countries. One is Germany, second one is Russia. So when Poland was under the control of Russia or Germany, most of the time Polish language was influenced by these two, that is German and Russian language. So people of Poland, people of two kingdoms of Sicily, even England, there is Northern Ireland, we studied in political science. Ireland, because Ireland is a part of England, today United Kingdom, but Ireland got their own culture called Irish culture, Irish language. So every country, they felt that there is a need to identify themselves as a separate country. Hope you are able to understand what I am explaining. So people of England, they speak English. Ireland, they speak Irish. Scotland, they speak Scottish language. Wales is a different. So even though today they are called themselves as United Kingdom, every country in this United Kingdom speak their own language. When you speak their different language, naturally your culture is different from others. So as a result, the nationalism emerged as a force which brought about sweeping change. Was the emergence of nation states. Now, what is nationalism? Nationalism is a strong feeling of oneness. I repeat, nationalism is nothing but a strong feeling of oneness. How this strong feeling of oneness it comes in the minds of the people? That is purely because we should have certain common features. What are the common features? We should have a common language, we should have common culture, we should have common identity, we should have common history. When we have common history, common culture, common language, common identity, it is very, very easy to unite, as well as it is very easy that we understand and we conclude that we belongs to a particular nation state. What do you mean by nation state? Nation state is nothing but today what we call India. India is a nation state. Okay. Hope you are able to be with me. Okay. So this is the painting which considered as one of the greatest dream of those days. So why it was difficult? Why it was difficult to unite the nations? Try to understand, because each and every European country had a different language, literature and culture. When each and every country having different language and culture, it is very difficult to unite them. Okay, let us move to the very known topic, that is the French Revolution and idea of nation. Last year you studied in very, very great detail about French Revolution. French Revolution of 1789 was considered as one of the pioneer or the beginning of all the revolutions in the world. French Revolution was against Louis XVI, who Louis XVI belongs to Bourbon dynasty. Various reasons for French Revolution, that is, which we studied in detail. One is estate system, philosophical reason, shortage of food grain, that is called subsistence crisis, rule of Louis XVI, because Louis XVI never bothered about the welfare of the people. So rule of Louis XVI, political reason means increase in the tax by Louis XVI. So several reasons, philosophical reason like Rousseau, Hobbes, Locke, all political philosophers, they came out with the idea of liberty, justice, freedom, private property. So all the ideas inspired the people of France. As a result, the people of France rebelled against Louis XVI in 1789. So French Revolution considered as the beginning of several other revolutions in the world. So please try to remember all the points which taught last year. Reasons, I repeat once again, political reasons. What is political reason? That is estate system, division of estate system into first, second and third estate. First, second and third estate, first and second estate enjoyed freedom and all the privileges. Third estate paid tax but not enjoyed any privilege. People like Thomas Hobbes, Rousseau, John Locke inspired people and explained the theory of social contract, and they explained that king is not absolute, king can be questioned. So all those, please recollect all the points which I explained last year about French Revolution. The French Revolution and the idea of nation. French revolutionaries introduced various measures and practices that could create a sense of collective identity amongst the French people. The ideas of la partie, la citoyen. La partie means nothing but, that is nation. La citoyen is nothing but citizen. Earlier they were called as subjects. Now today we are all called as citizens of India. So today we are called citizens, we are not called subjects. What's the difference between citizen and subject? Subject is someone who don't have a right to freedom to speak, express his opinion, because he is subject to listen. Whereas we are the citizens. When we are citizens, we have several legal rights to question the government. So the idea of la partie and la citoyen emphasize the notion of united community, enjoyed the equal right under constitution. What are the other things introduced in France? A new French flag, the tricolor was chosen to replace former royal standard. So earlier what was the flag of France? That is the royal flag. Now instead of royal flag, it was replaced with the new flag. So replacement of new flag itself is the sign that the people of France, they were ready to oppose or go against the idea of king or monarchy. So French Revolution, and we will continue because we are not studying very detail about French Revolution in class 10 because we studied in class 9th. But please remember the points which I told. There is political reason, philosophical reason, subsistence crisis, increase the tax, rule of Louis XVI. So cadets, please write down all the points because history is very difficult to understand, because this European history, once you are thorough with the syllabus, then it is very easy to understand European history. Take care. I will meet you in the next class. Wish you a wonderful day. Thank you.